Hi, welcome to the Industry Astrology New Moon Forecast for December of 2023. The moon has been waning, getting darker, the energy is diminishing. How are you feeling? The moon is waning, and on December 12th at 3:32 p.m. Pacific time, the moon will conjoin the sun and then begin to wax again. Dark moons are often a time when we feel less energy or we're more inward focused, maybe more pensive, more questioning of what's going on, a little more confused, especially this new moon, which happens to be falling right as Mercury is stationing retrograde, which will happen just a few hours after the new moon on December 12th. And this is the final lunar cycle of 2023. So it is a busy time. It's an interesting time to have a Mercury retrograde as we move into the holiday season and into a more busy travel time in general for people. Be ready for delays, stay flexible. We're heading towards some of the darkest nights of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. The winter solstice is going to be on the 21st, and then there is a sort of turning point of the light, the seasonal shift of light on the planet. Sometimes these dark nights can feel heavy and not so easy as well. So just take care of yourself in the next couple weeks. Mercury is stationing direct on the very first of the year, on January 1st, which is, I think, an auspicious omen for the year to come, pushing us forward into a new chapter in 2024. So these last weeks of 2023 may be a time for wrapping things up or reviewing, reconnecting with the past. Mercury retrograde loves to look back at old relationships, reconnect with old friends, revisit old places you haven't been for a while, and see it with a fresh perspective. It's also a time to pick up or wrap up loose ends with projects or work that may have been put on hold, or with things that you might have been sweeping under the rug. And that includes maybe feelings as well, especially because this lunar cycle the moon is about our emotions, our minds, our feelings being embodied in this world, and our relationships a lot. And this new moon is coinciding with this Mercury station. Mercury station means Mercury's not really moving forward or back. He's just stopped. And sometimes that can feel more challenging than Mercury retrograde, I've noticed. And it happens to be that I'm traveling right now in India, and that's why I'm late and posting this blog pretty late. I think I'm going to make it before the new moon. So to start the lunar cycle out like this is a pretty deep and insightful energy. So if you're thinking of doing real inner work, especially in the year to come, this is a time to maybe look at what's needed. The new moon is also with that Scorpio Mars. It's been in Scorpio since mid-November, which is a fierce place for Mars. Mars is considered to be like Ruchaka, very powerful in Scorpio. And it does give courage, it does give energy to this new moon, but it also can create a sort of volatility, impatience. So try to be gentle right now with yourself and with others. Try to stay patient, stay cool. We can feel a little more fragile around dark moons and new moons. This new moon is in Jyeshta Nakshatra. Jyeshta Nakshatra is right at the heart of the Scorpion, actually. It's the star of Antares, the rival of Mars. This Scorpio, it's complicated sometimes, especially for the moon, because it's considered the moon's debilitation point. Jyeshta, though, has a lot to do with respect. It's a divine feminine Shakti, an energy of maturity and wisdom, called the eldest queen. Jyeshta was the eldest sister of all the nakshatras, who stood up for the rights, for the respect, defining boundaries, coming back to your sense of empowerment, coming back to yourself. Might be a theme moving forward in the next weeks to come, basically, as we move into 2024. I will be doing my annual forecast on January 7th, the live Zoom cast with a review or a preview of the year to come, 2024, with all of the important transits and looking at the important eclipses. And also we will look at Vedic horoscopes for all 12 signs, so how a lot of the most important transits are going to be affecting you on a personal level according to your Vedic sign. So check it out. I will leave a link down there in the description window and just on my website, anandastrology.com. Okay, so let's just take a look at what the tarot cards have to say about this dark new moon in Jyeshta Nakshatra. Okay, so the first card that came up is the Queen of Wands. Fiery energy there. Reminds me of this idea of the goddess Jyeshta, or the nakshatra Jyeshta, I should say. Jyeshta Devi, who was the eldest sister of all the nakshatras, who were married to Soma, the moon. And Soma had the tendency to neglect some of his wives and favor one in particular, Rohini. And so it was Jyeshta who went to her father and stood up for herself and her sisters. And so it takes a fierce wisdom, a sort of self-respect and maturity. Jyeshta has a lot to do about this protection of her sisters as well, the umbrella who protects all of her family, the people who surround her, and also her sovereignty, her power. And then we have the 7 here. There's that darkness of the winter solstice really showing itself. You may have felt pretty frustrated by some situation lately. This dark moon, Mercury's not moving, and Saturn is actually making a aspect, according to the Vedic rules, onto this moon. So both Saturn and Mars are making a pretty deep impression on this moon. It's not an easy time where you might be feeling like you're kind of swimming in mud, or not clear, or maybe having to kind of surrender certain things that you were hoping not to have to. So it is just a lot about clearing. I think clearing away 2023, clearing away this last karmic cycle as we're moving into a new template. And it is brand new as Mercury, as I was saying, stations on the new year. Here we have, this is the Fool. The Fool is also like the rebirth of something completely new, all infinite possibilities. We don't know. Anything can happen. And so there is this level of what might be difficult to surrender is actually what's giving us the freedom to jump in to something completely fresh and new. Come back to your power. Pull it out of the mud. Envision what you want to be, what you want to do. Allow for what has happened to flow away and embrace the new. You are free and you are always pure. You are always, at any moment, able to reset, restore, and start again. What may seem like failure is only one chapter in a bigger story. Be open and let in the fresh air. Okay, thanks for coming to this new moon forecast, the Industry Astrology, Vedic Astrology New Moon Forecast. I do offer tarot readings and Vedic Astrology readings live on Zoom. You can book a session with me on my website, anandastrology.com. And don't forget to check out the 2024 horoscope class coming up on January 7th. And I will see you soon on the next full moon.